Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna talk about Monster Hunter Wilds with these 3 glass cannon longsword builds suited for the current top roster monsters in the game. Before we dive in, here's a quick premise, that is that I like efficient hunting more than comfort hunting. Being also a console player, I value my time in the game a lot more due to lack of mods like unlimited materials, unlimited investigations, HP overlays, etc. So in my speedruns, quote unquote speedruns, if you wanna call like those, I try to condense what I believe technically to be the best build choices for the limited time I can dedicate to this fantastic game. Putting that aside, I also believe it's important to explain what I believe to be the uptimes of certain skills so that we can all agree on assigning those the appropriate importance. So, 90% uptime for Frenzy, it's easy to maintain. 80% for Agitator, presumably the monster is gonna get enraged very easily due to the damage you're dealing. 90% for Maximum Might, another easy to maintain skill with maximum stamina. 70% Counter-Strike, somewhat controversial, but with a healing Palico it can easily stay active for over half of the hunt. 65% Convert Element. When present, I believe this works as Counter-Strike, but only for elemental attacks, so it makes sense to assign less uptime. 70% for Adrenaline Rush. I treat this like Counter-Strike mostly. 90% for Burst. Well, you just have to attack and you have a generous time frame to keep it on. 85% elemental absorption. Technically this should be treated like convert element, but since this increases your elemental resistance, I'm assuming you can tank more elemental attacks. Either way, it makes a so tiny difference it mostly won't impact the performance, and it's only a byproduct of the second build. And to end this list, 60% for latent power. This is the most conditional skill to be activated, since it's asking either for 130 damage or 2 minutes fight time. Okay, sorry for the long premise, now let's dive in. The first build is the Raid Out Gamma power build, sporting an impressive 524 effective attack with Numinous Crown Beta and Numinous Greaves Alpha, then all Raid Out Gamma central pieces plus the Challenger Charm. Considering you are activating Guts for the entire time and latent power for a portion of the fight for max affinity, this is your way to go for pure damage. And it shines in longer fights, like for example the Archtempest Raidao himself, which I do estimate to be from the 4 to the 8 minutes duration. You can of course go Hartian max attack roll plus 1 sharpness, or eventually Blazing Raphael, which is a good side grade. The second build is the Anti-Zoshia with Numinous Crown and Shroud Beta, Archvulcan Braces Beta, then Double Gore Alpha with Counter Charm 3. The convert element here is what it makes it shine. Consider when Zoshia enters the second phase, he is guaranteed to do a flamethrower if you're nearby, so for sighting that flamethrower guarantees simultaneously Counter-Strike, Adrenaline Rush and convert element, and that's a massive spike in DPS. I estimate this hunt to stay also from the 4 to the 7 minutes mark. The suggestion so is either a Dragon Artian with 2 sharpness buffs and the rest attack, or the Blazing Raphael if you don't have this type of Artian, you know. While this build has less effective attack compared to the Archtempest Raidao one, about 500 compared to the 524 effective attack, keep in mind that Zoshia has very weak elemental zones, especially on the head and the wing arms, so your element will compensate for that. Before going on to the third build, if you're liking the video, please consider doing me a favor, liking and subscribing to help my small channel grow even more, would be much appreciated. Let's keep going on. The third build is the all-rounder fast hunting truck for regular monsters like Gormagal, Archveld or Misutsune. We are giving away the convert element of the last build for a more robust raw approach with Numinous Crown Beta and Shroud Alpha, Gore Braces and Greaves Beta, and the Raidal Coil Gamma, plus the Challenger Charm again. This set has to activate its skills earlier, due to the hunts are estimated to last from the 3 to the 5 minutes max. So we are dropping also 3 points of the latent power in favor of the Gore Magalas Black Eclipse, while maintaining Agitator 5. To get the quick sheet 3 we are dropping to Antivirus 2, but to me it's a good trade-off. The best longswords suitable for this build usually revolve around status Artians. with the exception of a fire longsword if you are facing Gormagala. As always, 1 sharpness plus all attack reinforces. Okay, so now that we have locked in our builds, I still want to say that there's nothing wrong using a comfort build or something different, like for example a Scorcher White Flame Torrent build, or even a Foray centered build with a Paralysis Poison Team Hunt. But the reason I'm not recommending those is either that not every move can proc the White Flame Torrent explosion, for example in the Longsword, which is my main, leaving out the Helmbreaker and the Ice Spear Slash is a big downside. Well, at least you can proc it with the boring Crimson spam. Or, yeah, speaking about Foray, well, you simply have to give away too much to bring it to battle, at least for now. Let's hope in the future we have better builds. Okay, so I hope I could give you a good insight in longsword efficient building after title update 1. Also, let me know what is your favorite longsword build with a comment below. I am out. Peace.